Shabbat Shalom. We are delighted to have you here for this wonderful bat mitzvah of Helen, Ora in Hebrew. And whether you are with us far away or in your home somewhere, or whether you are with us here, we hope you will be fully present and breathe in the joy and the sacredness of this moment that Helen and her family have prepared for. And so we're going to warm ourselves up with the singing of a nigun. A nigun is just a wordless melody, so you don't have to know the words. You just join in and sing along. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. We are going to open our prayer books to page 220, and it is our custom for our bat mitzvah to lead us in prayer. And so I'm going to call Ora to the bima, page 220, for the chanting of the Ashrei.
Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha, Od Hallelujah Selah.
Happy are those who dwell in your house. They will sing your praises forever. Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha, Od Hallelujah Selah. Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha, Od Hallelujah Selah. Ashrei. They will sing your praises forever. Happy are those who dwell in your house. They will sing your praises forever.
Va'anachnu nevarech Yah, me'ata ve'ad olam, hallelujah. Please turn to page 224 for the Hatzi Kaddish.
Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yamad yifrach yiritei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala Uvizman kahari v'immeru, Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach, le'olam u'lo me'amaya, yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shemei dekudashah b'rechu. Leila mikol berchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma, v'yimeru. Amen.
Helen, this is the moment that you're going to receive this really beautiful talit from your parents' hands. And you know, the significance of the talit is actually these four corners. They're called tzitzit. And these tzitzit are supposed to remind you of the mitzvot, of walking in God's path, of doing the right thing. You come from a family that is very philanthropic, that has taught you by example what it is to make the world a better place. And when I asked you what's important to you and what you think is a big problem in the world, you talked about racism and homophobia, and you have the opportunity in your life to do the right thing and to walk in the right path. Your parents are going to give this to you with love, and I hope you always feel their love when you wear it on your shoulders, and that you feel God's love as well. And so I'll call up your parents to present you with this talit. And now I'll ask you to say the blessing that's said before putting on the talit.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehitatef b'tzitzit.
Amen. And now you'll put it around your daughter's shoulders. And you can give her a big hug. And I'll ask you to face the congregation and put your arms around each other as we sing the words of Shehechianu, thanking God for enabling you to reach this day.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'hegianu lazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'hegianu lazman hazeh. Amen.
Well, what can I say about Helen? She surely is giving me the run for my life. Even at the moment of Helen's birth, she was already start challenging me. During her labor, Helen had pushed over my artery and I started to lose my hearing and saw stars in my eyes. Luckily, my husband Andy was there and he called the doctors to come quickly and save me. From a very young age, Helen was always a very curious child, finding something prohibited to do. For example, around the age of 4, Helen took her car keys, got into the car, played around, and closed their car like nothing had happened. Well, almost nothing, because she accidentally locked their car keys inside, and we learned about her little adventure. Helen has a very strong personality. She is always a true leader. No matter where we were going, she had always walked first, always ahead of everyone. At the age of 7, she marched out of the Legoland, all by herself, without even noticing that the rest of the family stopped by the store to pick up a purchased picture. A nice family saw her on the curb of the parking lot. They asked Helen, "Where is your family?" Her answer was very mature for her age. She said, "I don't know where my family is, but this is my car on the parking lot." And she pointed at our red minivan. She was smart enough to wait for her family at the car. The challenges also continued at the older age. Helen's creativity was becoming more and more complex. For instance, She activated a screen recorder on her phone to learn my parental passcode. When I was entering it, or completely reset and restart her phone to erase all the parental restrictions. Or warm up a warm cup of tea and placed it near her ear so the thermometer would show a fever, or spray the fake blood that was left after the Halloween up her nose to fake a nosebleed, so she can simply skip the school and stay home. The list can go on and on, but her creativity wasn't only spread over how to trick her parents. She also applied herself to many, many other areas. Starting at the age of 2, she mastered the kitchen knife when she was helping her dad prepare a morning omelet, chopping mushrooms and bananas like a pro. She continued advanced her culinary skill through her life and easily can cook anything from French onion soup to brownies now. Helen's room had become her artistic studio. It gets a new makeover almost every week. It looked like beautiful butterfly garden, then a Christmas magic, then a Queen's rock and roll theme, and recently a green jungle forest with her own chinchilla by the name of Harry. Helen also has an amazing observation talent. If someone is looking for anything at the house, best person to ask, of course, is Helen. She always knows where everything is. A remote control, thermometer, headphones, or even her brother's footballs. It all only takes her a second to look around the room and memorize where everything is. All those qualities make our Helen a wonderful, unique, and beautiful creature. We are so blessed to see Helen grow up into a compassionate and smart young lady with a strong character, as the sweet girl we all love with all our hearts. So on this day, the day of your bat mitzvah, I wish you, my precious girl, a lifetime of health, joy, happiness, and balance. I wish that you will always have the strength to believe in yourself, while at the same time having empathy and compassion for those around you. I wish that you rise to the occasion of being a strong young woman with all the joys, responsibilities, and challenges it entails, with grace and confidence, making your mark in this world. But most, I wish that you live each day to the fullest and enjoying every moment of it. Congratulations, my love.
One of the great things about Helen is her willingness to try new things. If it looks like it will be fun, you can count on Helen being the first to try. If it looks like it will be fun, but a little scary, Helen won't be the first to try, but she will eventually give it a go, and likely be the one that enjoys it the most. If it is something new but difficult, like piano, cooking a new recipe, or wakeboarding, Helen will try and try again to get it. Eventually, she will. One of my favorite stories about Helen is when she lost her teddy bear at Disney World. She called it Misha, Russian for bear. It was pink and soft, and Helen took it everywhere when she was 3.5 years old. Misha hadn't left Helen's side since she was 9 months. It is how Helen got her nickname, Pookie Bear. Misha was lost. We checked the lost and found at Disney, no Misha. The Disney cast member was very kind and gave us a credit for any bear at the gift shop. But no bear could replace Misha, and Helen refused to accept a substitute teddy. Helen and I retraced our steps through the Magic Kingdom. Amazingly, we found Misha in the kitchen at Pinocchio's restaurant. Apparently, that is where lost bears go when they get lost at It's a Small World. Helen was so happy. I'll always remember the look of excitement and relief on Helen's face when she had Misha back in her arms. Little did Helen know that Mom was hiding a backup Misha at home, anticipating this type of tragic loss. The story of what happened when Helen realized that there were two Mishas in her universe is a story for another day. Let's just say that today Helen has 4 Mishas in her bedroom and the universe is still spinning. Helen shares many qualities with her namesake and paternal great-grandmother, Helen Lerner, née Kruger. They both love to laugh, sometimes uncontrollably, the Lerner laugh. The Helens love to have fun. They are both liberal in their thinking. Helen Lerner smoked. Helen Ansin probably will try smoking something. And therein lies my words of caution for Helen. Helen, have fun, be adventurous, be creative, but also be smart. Take risks, but do so after analyzing and understanding what the risks are. Your sense of fun will take you far in this world. It will attract people to you. It will help you think creatively and help you reach your goals. Empower your abilities and go for it. Make Misha proud. We love you, Mom and Dad.
We turn to page 226 and rise for the Amidah.
Adonai, sefatai tiftach, ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, ve'Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei hakol, V'zocher chasdei avot ve'imahot, U'mevi ge'ula livnei v'neihem, L'ma'an shemo be'ahava, Melech ozer u'moshia u'magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor leolam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol atarav lahoshia. Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim ve'rofeh holim, U'matir asurim, U'mekayem emunato lishenei afar, Bichamocha ba'al gevurot, U'midom elach, Melech meimid u'mechayeh, U'matzmiach Yeshua, V'nemanat ha'chayot ha'kol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol.
We remain standing for the Kedusha on page 232.
Nekadesh et shimcha ba'olam, Keshem shemakdishim oto b'shmei marom, Kakatuv al yad neviecha, V'kara zeh ve'amar, Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Melech ol haaretz, Kevodo, Adir, Adirenu, Adonai, Adonenu Mahadir, Shimcha bechol haaretz, Baruch Kevod Adonai, Mimkomo. Echad hu Elohim hu Avinu, hu Malkeinu, hu Moshiachenu, vehu Yashmienu, berachamav le'enei kol chai. Ani Adonai Elohechem, yimloch Adonai le'olam, Elohai Yechzion, ledor vador. Hallelujah. Ledor vador, ledor vador, ledor vador, nagid ledor vador, ledor vador, ledor vador, nagid kol lecha. Ledor vador, ledor vador, ledor vador, nagid kol lecha. Ledor vador, ledor vador, ledor vador, nagid kol lecha.
To all generations we will make known your greatness, and to all eternity proclaim your holiness. Your praise, O God, shall never depart from our lips. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. Please be seated.
We're going to continue with Birkat Shalom on page 240, a prayer for peace. Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Anocha, Tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Anocha, Tasim le'olam. Ki ata melech adon, lechol hashalom. Ki ata melech adon, lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Anocha, Tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Anocha, Tasim le'olam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et amecha Yisrael. B'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Anocha, Tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Anocha, Tasim le'olam. Tasim le'olam. Tasim le'olam. Tasim le'olam. We take a few moments to pause for our own silent reflection. the entire book of Exodus, parts of it talk about the building of the first sanctuary in the desert, and it teaches all of us that we all must give from our hearts to construct that holy space. And Temple Beth Shalom has been a very important place for many generations in your family. And a lot has happened here in this holy space with your family. You obviously follow your sister's footstep. You've got 2 more coming. And there's been great moments of wonderful joy and some sadness as well. And this piece that I'm going to sing talks about all of the special things that happen in this sacred space. And it also wishes you God's protection as you go through life. Shema B'ni, take these wings to fly with. Shimi Biti, with these roots you will grow. This is my promise, this is my blessing. You are the promise, and you are the blessing. Shema B'ni, Shimi Biti. God's children come into this shelter, a place of peace, a house of prayer, a center of living, of justice, of giving, where everyone's loved and where everyone cares. Shema B'ni, Shimi Biti. Cry of her infant, a young girl reads and becomes a woman. Vows are exchanged as 2 hearts become one. A son returns and reads Kaddish again. Shema B'ni, Shimi Biti. So you shall fly on wings of eagles, and you shall grow to be straight and tall. This is my promise, this is my blessing. You are the promise, you are the blessing. Shema B'ni, Shimi Biti. Shimi Biti.
We've come to the moment in our service for Seder Kriyat Torah, the service for the reading of the Torah, which is in fact the main event here for the Bat Mitzvah, when Helen will be called to the Torah as a young adult for the first time in her life. So I'll invite you to turn to page 246 in your Sidurim. And also we look at the brochures that are in our hands for those of us who are here in the sanctuary, with Helen's beautiful punim, her beautiful face on the front cover, and the honors of who will have an aliyah are here in this brochure. Page 246.
Ki metzion tetzeh Torah, ki metzion tetzeh Torah, udevar
Helen, Ora, this is the Torah, Israel's sacred heritage and our inheritance. Wherever the Jewish people has been, the Torah has been with us, guiding us, teaching us, sustaining us, keeping us on that right path that I spoke to you about. You receive many gifts on your bat mitzvah day, but the most precious gift of all is this Torah. You can't take it with you out of the ark and into your home, but you carry it with you in your hearts. Rabbi Jonathan Sacks, who was the chief rabbi of England, says, "We only pass on to our children what we truly love ourselves." You are the fourth generation who have stood on this bima, and the Torah has been lovingly passed throughout your family so that you would receive it here today. And symbolic of that Ledor Vador, that chain of tradition, I'm going to invite your grandparents and your parents to pass the Torah to you.
We are gifts and we are blessings. We are history in song. We are hope and we are healing. We are learning to be strong. Ledor vador nagid god lecha. Ledor vador we protect this chain from generation to generation. Ledor vador these lips will praise your name. Ledor vador nagid god lecha. Ledor vador we protect this chain from generation to generation. Ledor vador these lips will praise your name. Lecha Adonai hagedola v'hagevora v'hatiferet v'hanetzach v'hahod ki chol v'shamayim uvaretz ki chol v'shamayim uvaretz lecha Adonai hamamlacha v'hamid na'aseh lechol rosh.
My Torah portion is Tetzaveh, which is in the book of Exodus. My Torah portion is about how to build the sanctuary. The design and building of the space was written in great detail. Tetzaveh also talks about what priests wore to do the holy work. One of the garments was an ephod, which is a breastplate. This was covered with 12 stones, which represented the 12 tribes of Israel. Aaron, Moses' brother, was the high priest, and his sons were the priests who performed the holy acts in the sanctuary at the time. Their garments all consisted of luxury jewels and precious metals to represent that their work is holy and to honor God. My Torah portion also includes sacrifices with specific animals like bulls and rams, also to honor God. Respecting God through clothing and sacrifices were both important themes in my portion. I found it interesting that the ephod was covered with 12 stones to represent the 12 tribes. I think that wearing the ephod showed to Aaron that he was the high priest and that he needed to prove he was a good choice by carrying out his duties while wearing a piece of clothing that represented God. I think that he wouldn't be able to perform many of these duties in casual clothes because he wouldn't be as confident. This relates to real life things by things I wear to specific places. Usually I dress up to go eat dinner at a restaurant, and if I were to eat dinner at home, I would be dressed casually. For example, to school, I would wear my uniform with a symbol to represent my school's initials. To a sporting event, I would wear my jersey with my name and my school's name to represent what team I am on. I don't think that all of these outfits help me carry out specific tasks, but for sporting events, my clothes remember who I represent. Therefore, just like in the Torah, the clothes people wear aren't the only thing that matters, but they can have significant impact on how people perceive you and how you perceive yourself. Becoming a bat mitzvah also includes a new type of responsibility. One of the most important aspects of becoming a bat mitzvah is that I am now responsible for performing mitzvot. To those of you who may be unfamiliar with the term mitzvot, they are commandments that encourage positive acts, links between God and humanity. I would like to end with some important thank yous. Thank you to the Temple Beth Shalom Synagogue for creating a supportive community that let me grow as a Jew. Thank you to Rabbi Pomerantz, Rabbi Leuben, Cantor Siegel, and all of my Lerman school teachers for all of the Jewish education that you have provided me over the years. Thank you to my bat mitzvah tutor, Lior Ramadi Giron, for guiding me and helping me prepare for becoming a bat mitzvah. Mom and Dad, thank you for all of the planning that went into today, helping me to prepare, and for all of your support. Thank you most of all for passing the Jewish religion to me. Lastly, I appreciate all of my family for coming out here today and friends for watching my ceremony via Zoom in honor of me becoming a bat mitzvah.
Beautiful, Helen. So we are going to just take this down so that we can put the Torah here. And for those of you who wish to follow along in the Hebrew reading, you can take out the big, thick Torah commentaries. And as Helen said, we're reading from Tetzaveh, which is on page 563. That's where she will be starting. And in just a moment, she will call up her aliyot.
Ya'amdu ha'olim la'aliyah harishona. For the first aliyah, I would like to call up my parents, Andrew Ansin and Tatiana Ansin, my sisters, Sophie and Alexandra Ansin, my brother, Sidney Ansin, my grandmother, Toby Ansin, and my family friend, Sanford Evans, to the Torah.
Avraham ben Yitzchak, V'tovala Dvora, Sarah Tovala Devora, V'shlomo ben Baruch.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai hamvarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Amen. Ve'ata tetzaveh et bnei Israel vayku eleha shemen zayit zakati lamaor lehalot ner tamid be'oel moed mihutz laparohet asher al ha'edut Ya'aruch oto Aharon uvanav me'erev ad boker lifnei Adonai hukat olam ledorotam me'et bnei Israel ve'ata hakrev eleha et Aharon ahiha vet banav ito mitoch bnei Israel lehahanoli Aharon nadav avihu Elazar ve'tamar bnei Aharon.
Second Torah blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai
Grandma.
Eloheinu asher natan lanu Torah v'chayei olam natan b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Yeshua Koach. Mazel tov. You all can kiss, hug. It's your moment. Group hug. And now you all can be seated.
Jenny, we can go back down.
This next aliyah is known as the maftir. It is the final section of the Torah portion. This is also when Helen will be called to the Torah as a bat mitzvah by her Hebrew name Ora. And for those of you who'd like to follow along, we will be on page 511, chapter 30, no, 571, sorry, 571, chapter 30, verse 8. Please rise as the ark is opened. We have a special custom of reading this aliyah from our synagogue's Sephardic silver scroll, which stays here in the ark.
Tamod tamod habachura bat hamitzvah v'aliyat haTorah Ora bat Avraham chizki chizki. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamevorach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol haomim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Ufhalot Aharon et anerot ben harbaim yaktirena ketoret tamid lifnei Adonai ledorotehem lo talu alav ketoret zara ve'olah uminha ve'inesech lo tisech lo talu alav ket vehiper Aharon al karnotav ahat bashana midam hatat hakipurim ahat bashana yehaper alav ledorotehem kodesh kodashim hu l'Adonai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah temet v'chayei olam nata b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
She is doing Haftarah, right? She's doing Haftarah. You may be seated.
The Haftarah for Shabbat Tetzaveh can be found on page 577. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu asher bahar binvim tovim veratza vedivrehem hanemarim bemet baruch atah Adonai haboher batorah uvmoshe avdo uvisrael amo uvinviei haemet v'atzedek. Ata ben Adam haged et Beit Yisrael et habayit vayikra me'avonotehem umadedu et tochnit ve'im nichlemu mikol asher asu Surad habayit utunato umotzav umovav v'hod surotav v'et kol hukotav v'hod sorotav hoda otam uchtov leinehem ve'yishmeru et kol suroto v'et kol hukotav ve'asu otam. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam tzur kol holamim tzadik bechol hodorot ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer v'hoseh ha'medaber umkayem shekol devarav emet v'tzedek al ha'torah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al ha'neviim ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu likdusha ve'limnuha lehavod ultifaret al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim lach umvarechim otach yitbarach shimha befi kol hai tamid le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen.
Amen. Helen, or this is my opportunity to say a few words to you and to give you some words of blessing. So for those of you who have candy, just hang on to it for a few moments while I get to talk to Helen. So this was a beautiful service, and you have a lovely voice, and your spirit really filled our nearly empty sanctuary today. And I hope that we get to hear more from you because you sounded beautiful. You know, when your parents selected this Torah portion for you, probably a few years ago, they might not have had any idea that the Torah portion was about light. And we say maybe there are no such thing as coincidences because your name, Helen, and your name, Ora, both mean light. So today you lit up our bima, and from everything your parents said, it seems that you light up your home and you light the way wherever you go with your spunk and your curiosity and really your joie de vivre, which means your love for life. As we said, your Torah portion is about that. It's about the Ner Tamid. And anytime you go into a synagogue, anywhere in the world, there will be a Ner Tamid. And you can remember your Torah portion. And we translate it as eternal light. And when we say eternal light, it seems like maybe there's something magical about it, right? That it just stays lit all the time. But the rabbis say that that wasn't true. That Ner Tamid meant that the light had to be perpetually lit, which means that the people had to actively keep the light lit. And I think there's a lot of wisdom in that anything we're really passionate about or anything that's important to us, we can't just expect it to happen. We have to work for it. We have to put our energy into it. We have to put our light into it. Our tradition calls the Torah, Torah Ora. That's your name, the Torah of light. Because our tradition says that God gives us light through the Torah. And we shine that light back to God when we study Torah and when we do mitzvot and when we show kindness and empathy, as your parents spoke about. And you spoke in your Devar Torah beautifully about the decorations of the tabernacle and the special garments that the high priest, the Kohen, would wear. And you know, one of the things that is really challenging about this pandemic is not getting to see people in person. So when you and I met, we didn't meet face to face, but the good thing was I got a window into your bedroom, and I got to see those walls that your mother was talking about. And I got to see your color schemes and learn about your interest in art and beauty. And it seems that God, too, really cared about making that special place beautiful. And so my hope and prayer for you, Helen, is that you shine your light wherever you go, and that you try to make the world beautiful through your art, your creativity, your talent, and through your passion and your empathy. We are so proud of you, and we hope that you will stay with us through confirmation and you'll keep up your Jewish studies. And we look forward to Alexandra, who's next in line, and then Sydney right after that, or maybe not right after, a few years after. And now it is my honor to bless you on behalf of both myself and Cantor Siegel in the words of our ancients. Just put your arms out. I'll go like this. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yikunecha. May the light of God's face shine on you and shine through you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's presence always be with you and grant you a lifetime of good health, of joy, of love, and of wholeness and peace. And may you, Helen, be among those who bring that shalom, that wholeness and peace to our world. Amen. And now it's time for your family to congratulate you with sweetness. There you go.
Oh my God.
Simmen tov, mazel tov, simmen tov, mazel tov, simmen tov, mazel tov, simmen tov, yehlanu. Simmen tov, mazel tov, simmen tov, mazel tov, simmen tov, mazel tov, simmen tov, yehlanu.
So we are going to, in just a moment, rise for the Aleinu, but first we're going to dress the Torah to put it back in the ark. Okay, we'll turn to page 282 and rise as we face Jerusalem for the Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'teit gedula liyotzeh bereshit, shelo asanu kegoyeh ha'aratzot, v'lo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo samech Elokeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim HaKadosh Baruch Hu V'nemar V'haya Adonai L'melech al kol haaretz Bayom hahu Yeh Adonai echad U'shemo
And now we will remain standing and turn to page 294 for words of Kaddish. And as we do, we remember those who are near and precious to the Ansin family. We think about Edmund and Ansin, who died just about a year ago and whose plaque dedication was on this very bima just a couple of weeks ago. And I know that Abraham and Sydney were also members of the Ansin family who were members of Temple Beth Shalom. So we think of all of them. We think of the 6 million men, women, and children who died in the Shoah, and of the over 24,000 Israeli soldiers who died so that we would have a Jewish homeland, and those who passed away defending our American liberties as well. We take them all into our hearts with our own as we say these words of Kaddish, page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayachon v'yamechon uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'gala v'yizman kari v'yimru amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevarach le'alam ulalmei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei d'kedusha berichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Osei shalom bimromav, Hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the author of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort all who are bereaved here and everywhere with God's blessing of peace. Amen. You may be seated. And now I'm going to call Helen Ora up one more time because we have some gifts for you, more than candy. I told you you'd get gifts today on your bat mitzvah day. So these gifts are to show you that it's not only the cantor and I who are proud of you, but the whole congregation. We have a Kiddush cup for you, which hopefully you can use on Shabbat. You talked to me about how much you love your family dinners, so you can use this on your Shabbat family dinners. And this is a Tanakh. It is a Jewish Bible. So it's everything that's in there, plus more, and you can take this with you on your Jewish journey. Now, we have all these wonderful certificates in here. So first and foremost, your bat mitzvah certificate that says Helen Ansin became a bat mitzvah during this pandemic, in spite of everything. So we're so proud of you. This is a certificate that shows that the clergy and staff of Temple Beth Shalom planted a tree in your honor in Israel. And we hope and pray that you will go to Israel and visit your tree. And so after confirmation year, you have 2 opportunities. One is through the Alexander Muss High School in Israel, and this is a gift certificate toward that. And this is a gift certificate toward the Nifty in Israel program. So we very much hope and pray that you will get there yourself. And now, as we get ready to conclude our service, we're going to invite your family to join you up here on the bima for Havdalah. So come on, everybody will come up. Havdalah means separation. So we separate between Shabbat and the rest of the week. And this week, we really take a lot of sweetness with us from this Sabbath and the specialness of this Sabbath with us into the week ahead. And we have 3 symbols for Havdalah. We have the braided candle. You'll stand here with your family, Helen. The braided candle, the wine for the sweetness, and then the spices, which really represent passion, flavor, and adventure, which I know how you love, Helen.
Ya la 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 la.
And now we wish everybody a Shavua Tov, a good week, a week of peace. Let's take the sweetness of this precious Shabbat and precious child with us into the coming week. Shavua Tov.
Shavua Tov, 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 Shavua Tov. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase.
Shavua Tov and Mazel Tov.